Welcome to Manila Updates TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The world woke up to a dramatic headline. U.S. missiles arrive in the Philippines, igniting regional tensions. The delivery was swift and unmistakable. American missile launchers rolled off transport planes at Clark Air Base, under the watchful eyes of U.S. and Filipino troops. For many, this was not just another military shipment, it signaled a turning point in Asia's security landscape. The timing could not have been more tense. Just days earlier, Chinese and Philippine ships faced off in the South China Sea. Water cannons, blaring horns, and near collisions marked a new chapter in maritime rivalry. The arrival of advanced U.S. weaponry added fuel to an already blazing fire. In Manila and beyond, the question was clear. What happens next? All eyes are now on the region. With every new deployment, the stakes rise. The U.S.-Philippine alliance is making waves, and the world is watching closely. For the Philippines, the message is strong. We will not be intimidated, Manila declares. For China, it's a provocation. For the US, it's a promise kept. And for Southeast Asia, it's a sign that the game has changed. Why are these missiles here now? The answer lies in recent defense agreements between Washington and Manila. Over the past year, both sides have accelerated their security partnership. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, is at the heart of it. This pact allows the U.S. to rotate troops and equipment through Philippine bases, including the latest missile systems. The newly arrived weapons are not just any missiles. The centerpiece is the M142 High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, or HIMARS. This mobile launcher can fire precision-guided rockets and even longer-range missiles, hitting targets over 300 kilometers away. Alongside HIMARS, U.S. forces delivered Patriot air defense units and coastal anti-ship missiles, boosting both defense and offensive capabilities. U.S. and Filipino officials say these deployments are defensive and temporary, but their message is clear. The Philippines will not stand alone. This is about deterrence, not provocation, said a top U.S. commander during the handover ceremony. For the people of the Philippines, these systems bring new hope. After years of underfunded defenses, the archipelago is stepping into the modern age. For neighbors and rivals, this is a signal not to underestimate Manila. Location is everything. The new U.S. missile systems are being stationed at key Philippine military bases. These include locations on Luzon, the country's main island, as well as outposts facing the South China Sea. From these vantage points, the missiles can reach far into disputed waters, covering vital shipping lanes and contested reefs. With HIMARS, Patriot air defense, and anti-ship systems, the Philippines now has teeth. These weapons can target hostile ships, defend against air attacks, and deny access to strategic areas. Experts say this changes the balance in the South China Sea. It's a game changer, says one senior defense analyst. China must now plan for a credible, modern military response from the Philippines. The strategic significance goes beyond technology. By placing U.S. systems on Philippine soil, both countries send a message: their alliance has real muscle. In war games and in reality, these deployments extend the U.S. military's reach deeper into Asia. For years, Manila's outposts were vulnerable. Now, with new firepower, they are better protected. The hope is that stronger defenses will mean fewer provocations, less risk, and more stability. Tensions with China are at an all-time high. The South China Sea has become a maritime chessboard, and the pieces are moving fast. In recent months, Philippine supply boats heading for outposts like 2nd Thomas Shoal have faced Chinese Coast Guard ships. There have been water cannon blasts, dangerous maneuvers, and radio warnings. These encounters are not rare. They happen almost weekly. Filipino fishermen report being chased away from traditional fishing grounds. Chinese vessels shadow Philippine naval patrols, refusing to yield. The risk of miscalculation is real and growing. Manila has responded with a new resolve. The deployment of U.S. missiles is part of that answer. We will not be bullied in our own waters, said the Philippine Defense Secretary. The message is aimed at both Beijing and the Filipino people. Sovereignty is not negotiable. Despite the danger, the Philippines is not backing down. Each incident is met with diplomatic protests and calls for international support. The hope is that strength and new missiles will keep the peace, not spark a war. In Manila, the government's position is, well, unwavering. Our sovereignty is sacred, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has said. The arrival of U.S. missiles is seen as proof that the Philippines is serious about defending its territory. Official statements stress that these weapons are for defense, not aggression. Philippine officials have gone public with their resolve. "We will defend every inch of our territory," declared the Armed Forces chief. The decision to host American missile systems was not taken lightly. Manila insists the move is legal under both Filipino law and international agreements. At the same time, leaders are reaching out to neighbors. They emphasize the defensive nature of the deployments. "We seek peace, not conflict," said the Foreign Secretary in a press briefing. "The goal is to deter, not escalate." For many Filipinos, this is a moment of pride. After years of uncertainty, the nation is standing tall. The world is watching how Manila manages this high-stakes balancing act. The United States-Philippine alliance is not just about hardware, it's about training, cooperation, and, sharing knowledge. In recent months, we've seen the largest ever joint military exercises on Philippine soil. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen from both countries have practiced amphibious assaults, air defense, and missile launches. The annual Balikatan exercise now features live fire drills with HIMARS and Patriot systems. Filipino troops are learning to operate, maintain, and deploy these advanced weapons. The exercises stretch from the beaches of Luzon all the way to remote islands in the west. But honestly, modernization goes beyond just drills. Manila has launched a massive effort to upgrade its armed forces. New ships, fighter jets, and radar systems are on order. The goal here is simple: a credible, modern military that can respond to any threat. For the Philippines, partnering with the United States means more than security guarantees. It means learning from the best and building a force that can really stand on its own. China's reaction was, well, swift and angry. Beijing condemned the missile deployments as provocative and dangerous. Chinese officials warned of serious consequences for regional peace. State media broadcast images of new Chinese warships sailing near Philippine waters, just to underscore the rising stakes. But, not all regional players share China's outrage. Japan, Australia, and several Southeast Asian nations have expressed support for Manila's right to self-defense. Many see the United States-Philippine partnership as a stabilizing force, especially in the face of Chinese assertiveness. Still, the region is nervous. No one wants open conflict. ASEAN leaders have called for restraint and dialogue. Behind closed doors, capitals from Hanoi to Jakarta are watching closely, weighing their own options. For Manila, the response is simple. These missiles are about defense, not aggression. But as great powers jostle for influence, smaller nations really must tread carefully. The Philippines sits right at the heart of the first island chain. Strategists see this string of islands as the front line of Asia's security. From Taiwan to Borneo, the chain blocks China's access to the wider Pacific. That makes the Philippines a key player in any regional defense plan. The new missile deployments are not just about the South China Sea, they're about wider deterrence. With advanced United States systems in place, the Philippines can help control sea lanes and respond to threats across a vast area. This really makes it a linchpin in Washington's Asia-Pacific strategy. Geography gives Manila both power and responsibility. Its bases are within striking distance of critical shipping routes and choke points. That's exactly why both the United States and China pay such close attention to what happens here. For the Philippines, this means new opportunities and, honestly, new risks. As the spotlight grows brighter, the nation must walk a careful line between deterrence and escalation. The United States-Philippine alliance has never been stronger. The arrival of advanced missiles is only the latest sign. Both countries are committed to a future of cooperation, mutual defense, and shared values. But the road ahead is uncertain. China shows no sign of backing down. Maritime incidents could spiral out of control. The stakes are nothing less than peace and stability in one of the world's busiest waterways. Every new deployment, every exercise, carries risks as well as rewards. Regional security depends on more than just missiles and warships. It will take diplomacy, dialogue, and frankly, careful statecraft. The Philippines and its partners must balance strength with restraint, readiness with caution. As Asia's security landscape shifts, the Philippines stands at the crossroads. The alliance with the United States is a shield, but also a challenge. The world will be watching as this new chapter unfolds.